The axe falls. In the kingdom of Eldrin, a farmer dies for the sixth failed harvest.
I died in a tractor accident and woke here. Now I see another man die for ignorance.
In the crowd, the farmer's wife, Ada, clutches her daughter, Ilara, their faces hollow with grief.
They killed him, for the rain not coming. All his work, and they killed him.
The king's decree. Any farmer who fails is executed. The kingdom starves, the blade its answer.
In my old life, I was an agronomist at JA Group. I know how to fix this soil, this system, crop rotation, legumes, drainage, knowledge that could save them all if I dare use it.
As the crowd disperses, Hiroto turns away, his jaw set. He walks toward his tenant farm, a patch of dying earth.
I can't let another family be torn apart. I'll start here with my own hands.
In that moment, a silent vow is made. The famine will end, by knowledge or by his death. Hiroto stands on his tenant plot, a patchwork of cracked mud and withered stalks.
The soil's depleted. Without nitrogen, nothing will grow, but clover and beans can fix that.
Inside his dim cottage, he lights a candle and opens a worn notebook. Diagrams of crop rotation fill the pages.
Wheat, then legumes, then fallow. The land needs to rest. My father never knew this, but I do.
He wastes no daylight. Outside, he digs drainage ditches and mounds raised beds, shaping the earth with purpose.
The next harvest decides everything. If I fail, the axe waits for me too.
A neighboring farmer pauses at the fence, shaking his head at the unfamiliar sight. He grumbles that it's all superstition, that the gods alone decide the harvest.
Let them mock. This isn't superstition. It's science they've never seen.
By evening, the raised beds are ready. He presses legume seeds into the fresh earth, covering them gently. The first step is taken, though no one knows it yet. Weeks pass. Small green shoots break through the earth in neat rows, thicker and taller than the neighboring plots.
The legumes are working. Nitrogen fixing the soil. Soon the wheat will have a foundation.
A passing peasant scoffs, calling it a fool's gamble to plant beans instead of wheat.
Let them laugh. The harvest will speak for itself. Their scorn is a shield for now.
A royal tax collector rides through the village, tallying the meager yields. He glances at Hiroto's beds and shakes his head, moving on.
Good. No attention means no interference. I need another 2 months before the real harvest.
By the next month, the difference is undeniable. Hiroto's plot is a vibrant green, while the others remain sickly yellow.
Hiroto, how is your field so green? The others are dying, but yours is fighting back.
It's not magic, Ada. Just giving the soil what it needs. I can teach you, if you want.
But the whispers of a miracle have already reached the district steward. A cautious hope, or a deadly risk. Harvest day. Hiroto's sickle cuts into stalks that stand shoulder high. The yield is triple any neighboring plot.
The rotation worked. The legumes fed the soil, and the drainage saved it. But now the whole village knows.
Hiroto, the whole district is talking. Even the steward sent a rider. This could save us all.
Miles away, Baron Voss reads the steward's report. A tenant farmer breaking the famine. Unacceptable.
If one peasant can do this, others will stop fearing the axe. Bring me that farmer and his notebook. Alive.
That night, torches light up Hiroto's farm. Soldiers kick down his door, shouting for the witch who hexed the fields.
They called it witchcraft. But I know the Baron just wants to own the secret. I have to run.
A hand grabs his arm from behind, Ada. She pulls him through a hidden gap in the hedge as the cottage roof collapses.
Run to the capital. The king is desperate. He might listen if you show him that notebook. Go, now.
Hiroto vanishes into the tree line, the Baron's soldiers fanning out behind him. His farm is ash, but the knowledge is still alive. Dawn finds Hiroto picking his way through a dying village. Hollow-eyed children beg for crusts. The famine follows him like a shadow.
Every wasted field is a death sentence. I carry the cure in my hands, if I can just reach the king.
By afternoon, the capital gates loom before him, iron and stone. The guards eye his ragged clothes, but let him pass into a city of desperate markets. Inside the walls, bread riots simmer. The royal granaries are guarded by spears. Hiroto pushes toward the castle, repeating Ada's words. At the castle gate, a steward's assistant bars his way. His claims are met with scorn, a peasant with a plan, foolishness.
I can triple the harvest. Just let me speak to anyone who will listen.
A dry voice cuts in. Steward Gerard, returning from a storehouse inspection, overhears the commotion. His ledger is full of empty numbers.
Triple. I've heard 100 such claims from charlatans. Show me one page that proves you are not just another fool.
Crop rotation, legumes for nitrogen, raised beds. This is science, not sorcery. Read it, and tell me I am wrong.
Gerard stares at the diagrams longer than he intended. Then he snaps the ledger shut. He won't promise an audience, but he will read. For the kingdom's sake, impatience drives Hiroto to the city square. With borrowed tools, he digs a raised bed and plants legume seeds before a gathering crowd.
If they see the proof themselves, the king can't ignore it. Even the guards will have to listen.
He explains aloud. Beans fix the soil, drainage prevents rot. The crowd murmurs, some scoff, but others lean in, desperate for truth. Royal guards push through the throng. The captain orders Hiroto brought to the throne room. In the throne room, King Aldrich sits with hollow eyes. Steward Gerard stands at his side, the open notebook in his hand.
Gerard says you can triple yields. 6 harvests have failed. If you are lying, your head joins the others.
Your Majesty, I've done it once. Give me a royal estate and 18 months. I'll fill your granaries or forfeit my life.
The king studies the diagrams, then the desperate faces of his court. He gestures for a scribe's quill.
So be it. The Eastern Estate is yours. Succeed, and I'll make you my chief advisor. Fail, and the axe remains the law.
18 months. No room for error, but this is the chance I begged for. I'll turn that estate into proof.
The Eastern Estate sprawls before him, a patchwork of tired fields. The workers stare, arms crossed, expecting failure.
They see a young stranger, not a master. I'll have to prove myself with every furrow.
He unveils the redesigned horse-collar plow. The blade bites deep, turning dark soil. Murmurs spread.
The old yoke chokes the animal. This collar lets the horse use its full strength. Watch.
Overnight, a key pin is pulled from the plow. Sabotage. Hiroto finds it at dawn, the metal ring suspiciously absent.
Someone wants me to fail, but I can forge a replacement and set a watch. They won't stop this.
He works alone at first, then handpicks a few quick learners to train. He teaches them soil texture in his palm.
This soil needs nitrogen. We plant clover, let it grow, then plow it under. The wheat that follows will thrive.
The king sends me to inspect. I see progress, but the granaries are still empty. Time is shorter than you think.
By the season's turn, wide fields are striped with green. Raised beds hold legumes. The transformation begins, but the real test awaits. 18 months later, the Eastern Estate is unrecognizable. Golden wheat sways where weeds once choked the soil. Hiroto stands among the reapers, counting sheaves. The yield is triple, just as he promised. Word reaches the capital. King Aldrich rides out with his retinue, disbelieving the reports. He walks into a barn transformed. Sacks of wheat stacked to the rafters, beans, clover, hay. For the first time in years, the king touches grain without rationing it in his mind.
I ordered you to feed a kingdom, and you have filled my heart with something I thought dead. Hope.
Your Majesty, this is only one estate. Give me the mandate, and every field in Eldrin can look like this.
On the spot, the king draws his sword. He knights Hiroto on the threshing floor, naming him chief advisor. The court watches in stunned silence. A former tenant farmer now stands second only to the crown.
Chief advisor. The title means nothing if I can't use it to break the chains that starve them.
The celebration spreads through the capital. But in his new chambers, Hiroto dips a quill. The real work, political warfare, is about to begin. In the quiet of his study, Hiroto inks the abolition of serfdom. Every freed farmer must deliver a set quota of grain.
The barons will scream, but the fields will bloom. Fear of the axe must be replaced by hope of a full belly.
He presents the decree to the king. The council chamber tenses. Nobles hiss that he will ruin them.
For 6 years, the axe brought only fear. This decree brings a future. I will sign it.
The king's quill scratches across the parchment. Outside the window, a crowd begins to gather, sensing change. In a shadowed manner, Baron Voss slams his fist. The peasant whelp dares steal serfs. He will learn the price.
We cannot let the king see the truth without starving peasants. We have no army of desperate conscripts. This must end.
In the villages, word spreads. Freed farmers laugh, shed their chains, and plant with new vigor. Hiroto walks the capital market. A woman touches his sleeve. They say we are free. Is it true?
It is true. Now the only chain is the one you break by feeding your own children.
In the neighboring empire, Emperor Valdren receives a grim report. The stream of starving refugees needed for his army has dried up.
Eldrin's reforms are poisoning my conscription. We will crush them and drag their peasants back to the fields.
A herald arrives in the Eldrin court, bearing a sealed scroll. The king's hand trembles as he breaks the wax. Surrender the chief advisor and repeal the abolition, or face annihilation by the imperial legions.
I have seen my kingdom starve under false hope. I will not trade real prosperity for a tyrant's mercy. We will fight.
Your Majesty, give me command of the kingdom's defense. I will not let our fields become graveyards.
That night, the empire mobilizes. Scouts report 10,000 soldiers marching on the border.
Their army will outnumber us. But I know what fuels their strength and what might poison it.
He looks out at the starlit fields that taught him the power of hidden forces. An idea forms, terrible and necessary.
If I can't defeat their soldiers, I'll cripple the supply that feeds them.
In a sealed chamber beneath the castle, Hiroto recalls an old lecture, a fungus that drove armies mad in ancient times.
Ergot. In traces, it's medicine. In concentration, it makes men see demons and tear their own flesh.
He cultivates the fungus on rye, nurturing the purple-black growths with the same precision he used for crops.
I am twisting the very knowledge that saved us. But if the Empire invades, every field will be a mass grave.
He presents the plan to the king. The words are bitter. We shipped tainted grain into their supply lines.
You would poison bread? This is not a soldier's death. It is a curse upon the hungry.
Your Majesty, it is a curse or our annihilation. I will carry the sin if it means our farmers live free.
The king closes his eyes. A long silence. Then a single nod, the weight of a kingdom on it.
One nod, and I have become the famine I sought to end. But if it stops the war, I will not regret it.
Back in his lab, he fills 10 barrels with the tainted grain. The weapon is sewn, under cover of night. A caravan of merchants departs for the border. The barrels are marked as surplus rye.
They look like poor peddlers, but they carry a plague. If they're caught, the whole plan burns.
At the border market, imperial quartermasters haggle for the cheap grain. A soldier bites a kernel and nods, satisfied. By week's end, the imperial army's supply wagons are heavy with Eldrin rye. The soldiers bake their bread unsuspecting. In the capital, Hiroto pores over maps, waiting. No word comes for days. The silence is worse than battle cries.
Did they discover it? Did the ergot rot before it reached their kitchens?
On the 10th night, a mud-spattered scout collapses in the throne room. He gasps, a single report. The imperial camp. Men screaming at shadows, turning on each other. It's spreading.
It's begun. The harvest of nightmares is reaped.
Hiroto absorbs the words, his face unreadable. The weapon is working, but the harvest will be nightmares. Within days, the imperial camp becomes a bedlam. Soldiers claw at their own faces, seeing demons in their comrades.
This is what I unleashed. Rye turning into madness. But the alternative was our own people on their knees.
Emperor Valdren strides through the nightmare, whipping men to order, but the ergot does not obey the lash.
This is poison, not cowardice, That peasant has cursed my army with his grain. Find the source.
But it is too late. The legions scatter, officers abandoned, tents aflame. The invasion dies before it reaches Eldrin soil. In the castle corridor, Steward Gerard blocks Hiroto's path. His ledger is shut, his face pale.
You fed them madness. I helped you rise, but we have become the monsters we feared.
I became what they forced me to be. Without this, our children would be in chains. I will carry that sin.
Gerard turns away, his silence more damning than any rebuke. The rift between them will not easily mend. Yet in the quiet of his study, Hiroto stares at a single blackened rye kernel. He knows the Emperor will not forget. Hiroto sets a trap in his chambers. Hidden guards and crossbows. He knows the Emperor will not forgive.
He'll send assassins, just like the Baron. But this time, I am not the hunted. I am the bait.
That night, 3 shadows slip through the castle. Arrows fly from hidden slits. 2 fall. 1 is pinned.
You carry something far worse than a blade. Return to your Emperor and deliver my message.
He presses a scroll into the survivor's hand. Inside, a confession, the ergot, the method, and an offer of peace. The man flees into the night, clutching the letter that will end a war. In his tent, Emperor Valdrin breaks the seal. His eyes widen as he reads the truth of the madness.
Ergot, the grain, he admits it. My legions, turned to beasts by a farmer's cunning.
The arrogance drains from him. He sinks onto his throne, a hollow shell, and calls for a herald. At dawn, a white flag crosses the border. The Emperor sues for peace. The war ends not in blood, but in ink. The throne room erupts in cheers. Peasants pour into the streets, tossing grain into the air like golden rain.
Hiroto, you have saved us. I promised you would be my chief advisor, but now I offer more. The crown itself.
The crown, absolute power. But that was never my desire. I am a farmer, not a king. Your Majesty, I am honored, but I must refuse. The fields need a teacher, not another ruler.
Then, what do you wish, Hiroto? Name it, and it is yours.
Let me build a school. A place where every farmer learns crop rotation, legumes, drainage, so no child ever starves again.
The king's eyes glisten. He nods slowly, the weight of a crown seemingly no match for a farmer's dream.
So be it. The royal treasury will fund your academy. You have taught us that knowledge is the truest harvest.
Thank you. I will spend the rest of my life ensuring this kingdom never kills a farmer for a failed season again.
As the court watches, Hiroto turns from the throne and walks toward a new future, not as chief advisor, but as a simple teacher. Months later, the Royal Academy stands on the eastern estate, a long stone building surrounded by test plots and irrigation channels.
Hiroto, you actually built it. Alara hasn't stopped talking about the bean school all week.
I want to learn everything, Master Hiroto. I want to make my father proud.
Your father was a brave man, and you'll carry his courage, planting seeds that feed generations.
In a cold dungeon, Baron Voss hears the clang of the cell door. Stripped of title and land, he will rot for his treason.
That meddling peasant, he poisoned more than grain. He poisoned an entire order.
Outside, the kingdom's fields drink in the new knowledge. Farmers rotate crops, the land heals, and the famine fades into memory. The granaries brim once more. No more lines for thin gruel, no more executions for empty harvests.
This is why I came back. Not to rule, but to root. The ergot was a sin. This is the redemption.
The academy grows every season. A new generation of farmers rises, their hands full of seeds, not chains. Years later, Eldrin is the breadbasket of the continent. Ships carry its grain to distant ports. In every village, a bronze statue stands in the wheat. Hiroto holding an ear of grain. At the statue's base, a plaque reads, "By royal decree, all who farm are free. The axe is no more." A child holds up a crayon drawing of him, a hero with a wheat ear, the new emblem of hope. The fields stretch endlessly, each one marked with a simple sign, Hiroto's field.
You really did it, Hiroto. Our children will never know hunger.
They'll know only abundance, Ada. That's the only revenge worth taking.
Every wheat field bears his name, a quiet testament to a man who chose seeds over swords, and in the heart of the kingdom a single ear of wheat is etched into every coin. The harvest of peace is eternal. An aged Hiroto walks through a golden field, his hair now streaked with gray. The sun warms his back.
From a Tokyo crosswalk to this, I've lived 2 lives, but this one finally feels complete.
You are thinking about the past again, aren't you?
Always. But the past is just soil now. It's what grows from it that matters.
They stand together, the woman who lost her husband and the man who rebuilt a kingdom with knowledge.
Elara is teaching at the academy now. She says every child knows your name.
Good. Then the knowledge will outlive me. That's all I wanted.
He plucks a single ear of wheat and holds it up to the light, the symbol of his legacy.
I didn't just feed a kingdom. I taught it to feed itself.
And as the sun sets, the farmer-turned-teacher walks on, leaving footprints in the golden field. Decades later, in the same academy, a grown Elara stands before a class of young farmers.
Master Hiroto taught me that a single seed, planted with knowledge, can break a famine.
The students listen, some clutching the same notebook that once held his first diagrams. She leads them to the original farm, now a monument, a restored cottage, and a sea of wheat.
Here, where the soil was dead, he planted hope. Every field in Eldrin started from this ground.
The students touch the soil, imagining the hands that sowed the first seeds of abundance. Beyond the monument, fields stretch to the horizon, each bearing a wooden marker, Hiroto's field.
He chose to teach rather than rule. That's why you are here to carry that legacy.
Famine is now a tale told to children, a warning of what ignorance can cost. And in every breeze that sways the golden wheat, Hiroto's wisdom whispers on. From the highest tower, the kingdom stretches in a patchwork of gold and green, every field a monument to knowledge. In each one, a wooden signpost stands Hiroto's field. The name is carved deeper than any crown. Farmers work with joy, their backs straight under a peaceful sun. The silence is full, not empty, as dusk paints the sky. The wheat takes on a burnished glow, as if the earth itself remembers. A flock of birds rises from the grain, wheeling upward in a final salute to the day. The heads of wheat ripple like a golden sea, whispering a promise that outlasts a single harvest. The sun slips below the horizon, and the first stars prick the twilight. The land sleeps in abundance. And so the story ends, not with a king's decree, but with the quiet truth sown into every furrow. For what we sow in knowledge, we reap in peace. This is the harvest Hiroto left behind. And in the golden fields of Eldran, his season never truly ends. In every village, the statue of Hiroto still stirs the hearts of those who pass. A child stands before it, clutching a handful of seeds. The plaque beneath reads, "He fed the hungry, freed the bound, and taught the land to live again." Generations have passed, but the kingdom Eldrin remains a sea of gold each harvest. No child knows hunger, and the axe has rusted in a museum, a relic of fear long forgotten. Each year, at the Harvest Festival, they release a single dove over the original farm where it all began. They no longer call it Hiroto's field, they simply call it home. But in the deepest part of the soil, the roots remember a man who planted more than grain, and long after the last person who saw his face has passed, the wheat still whispers his name. It is the oldest story, repeated with every seed, from death, life, from knowledge, peace. And in the golden fields of Eldrin, the harvest is forever. Dawn breaks over the kingdom, painting the endless fields in amber and rose. Another harvest day begins. Children chase each other through the waist-high grain, their laughter as bright as the morning light. An old farmer kneels beside his young son, scooping a handful of dark, rich soil. He lets it sift through his fingers. The boy nods, his eyes wide. In that quiet exchange, a century of knowledge passes without a single word. The wind combs through every field, a patient and eternal hand that carries the scent of bread and clover. In the capital, the execution square blooms with flowers. The axe is a memory, and the memory is a garden. Hiroto's bronze statue still stands, its hands forever offering an ear of wheat to the sky, and so the tale is told again to every child who asks, "Who saved us?" A man from another world who used modern farming to end a famine and became the royal chief advisor. And in every season that follows, as the wheat grows tall, his legacy lives on, in the soil, in the sun, in the bread we share.